Let's turn this thing on so I can show you guys real quick. Turn it on, boy. All right, see, look. Oh. Where's it going? Where you going? Whoa, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. What the frick? Electric unicycles have come a long way, haven't they? I will spare you the history of these amazing devices, though. Click on the link above to learn more about the progression of these units. In either case, we have come to a point now where the nominal and peak power seems astronomical compared to where we started and where this is actually headed. From 13 miles per hour to a whopping 30 to 40 miles per hour on a one-wheel device is just breathtaking. But now, speeds are reaching in the realm of 60 miles per hour, rivaling that of automobiles and other modes of transportation as far as the average traveling speed is concerned on most inner-city roads. We can comfortably park our 2,000-ton vehicles and replace it with one of these, provided weather permits, of course, and even in some cases, riders still up to ride in severe weather conditions. So cars are on their way out for sure. Not really. But there is a little silent secret about these amazing devices, and most of you can already guess what that might be. With every release of these high-performing units, we unfortunately are in the dark about how they truly perform, from the quality of the parts used, the durability, and the components under various conditions, i.e. overheat hill testing, to high-speed testing, where knowing the limits is a must to help prevent cutouts.
Boy, this motor is vibrating. Wheel down!
Truth is, while we have moved ahead in terms of performance, range, etc., the overall knowledge of the inner workings of these devices is still a mystery.
I knew it! I knew it! Oh, shit! I knew it! Ah! Damn! You caught up, bro!
There seems to be a mutual understanding in the EUC community between the manufacturers and riders that we are indeed the test dummies for these devices. The proof is in the pudding, as they say. Here is some clarity on the matter. When a wheel is released, depending on where you live, the distributor will send out a demo wheel for various YouTubers to test out in hopes of finding fault in the unit where otherwise the manufacturer would not be able to find due to various reasons unknown.
Go, 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 go! Go, 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 go! Oh! Yeah! Yeah!
During the testing of these units, as the wheel makes its way to various states, we inevitably find shortcomings such as loose panels and inadequate battery capacity in the case of the Kingsong S18, inferior wire gauges in the case of the Sherman and Gotway high-performance wheels, and just the overall components such as the motherboard, insufficient cooling, etc. These are just a few examples of the lack of vigorous testing that should be a requirement for these manufacturers to perform prior to the release of these units is neglected. But then again, to be absolutely fair, we riders for the most part inevitably push these units beyond what the manufacturer's specifications permit. In recent months, it's only gotten worse, where, as an example, Gotway Bigode and Extreme Bull has become increasingly negligent on this matter, with their high-performance wheels, where adequate cooling was needed for their commander but was completely ignored. And for a near $4,000 device, any additional manual modification by the user should not be a requirement in order to get it to work properly. I did ask him in an earlier video, probably one of his first regarding this, or second, did he feel if the wheel was rushed? And from the looks of it, because he hadn't done that test yet, he said no. But now clearly we can see that Gotway did not, or Extreme Bull did not pay enough attention to cooling. The fact that he has to do all of this cutting, of plastic from a wheel that cost $4,000 says a lot, man.
Okay, there's a big gap in there for air to be rushing in there. So this will be fascinating to see whether it runs super cool.
Is that gonna work? I mean, it looks promising.
Like it does when I added air scoops from the Monster. But if this works, this is going to be much easier to do. I'm convinced they could make this a cool running wheel. They just don't put any real, Gotway just doesn't put any real thought into it. They just don't think it's that important. I still love this wheel, but man, I wish it was a cooler running wheel. Oh well.
While we do have some important testers and reviewers such as Wrong Way, Marty Back, Eco Drift, and others, just to name a few, this only demonstrates that the need for short and long-term testing is essential as these wheels become even more highly advanced as time goes on. To start the ball rolling, we look at an ancient Alkebulan, aka African proverb, "Do not look where you feel, look where you slipped." And since Gotway won't, I've taken it upon myself to attempt something that will lead in the pursuit of a higher level of safety and thus making better wheels in the future. 2 thumbs up for Leaperkim, Kingsong, InMotion for their level of safety regarding their wheels, but even they're not perfect. Introducing the U-Paratus V1 aka Mandinka, representative of the ancient and once powerful Mali Empire. While my pockets aren't deep, I will do my best to attempt this endeavor. So the wheels are getting faster, right? They're getting a lot faster. And the Commander is 50 miles an hour plus. The Abrams is 50 miles an hour plus. And I like that. This is a great thing. But we can no longer rely on crashing to tell us what the top speed is. That's never been, how do you say, a foolproof method to find out the true potential of the wheel. You know what I mean? The true maximum potential of the wheel. That's never been a very, how do you say, efficient way of doing this. It's dangerous. Now, after 30 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, it's been good, you know? But now it's getting dangerous up there. So I'm not about to put my life at risk. I have a baby now, I have a child, and I have a family now. So I didn't want to stop testing wheels. I wanted to keep testing wheels, but I didn't want to put my skin and my clothes in danger of doing that. But I still wanted to find out potential, you know what I mean? The true potential of wheels. And I want to find it out definitely, you know, like definitely, like this is what it is. So right now, when we go to Ewheels, when we go to any electric unicycle page, Alien Rides, Rev Rides, or whatever, we have a certain number of specs on there. There is the top speed, there is the weight, there is the load, the max load, there's the freewheel spin, there's the range, there's the battery, there's a bunch of cool stuff, right? But in many cases now, I understand that there are people out there who are not gonna ride wheels like crazy, but there are, and I'm one of them. But it would be very nice to also know what these wheels do at different weights. You know what I mean? So if we have like the 16X, for example, which I have right over there. If we have the 16X, the 16X has a max load of about 300, I think it's 320 pounds? Yeah, I think it's 320 pounds. Or 350 or something like that, 330. The point is, it says the max load, right? Which is cool, but it doesn't really tell you what it's capable of doing at that load. So for example, let's shout out Wrong Way. Wrong Way is the only one that I know of right now that makes EUC testing his life. And that's what I'd like to do eventually at some point, but on a more technical level. He's very light. And so a lot of the testing he does is very informational for our community. But it would be very nice to know what this wheel does at different weights, doing the same tests that he does. So for example, one test I like that he does a lot is the incline. The incline test is a beautiful test because it does show the potential of the wheel. But when you do it from his perspective, his weight, it makes it look, wow, this wheel is powerful. And I understand how it goes. He tests it, and then based on his weight and his results, you'll dial it back or you'll push it forward and say, okay, I weigh twice as much as him, so I shouldn't be able to do that. I weigh exactly as much as him, so I will be able to do that. I weigh a little bit less than him, so whatever. But it would be very nice to find out, you know, at different weights, but performing pretty much similar tests as him. Anyway, this is it right here. This is called the U-Paratus. Okay, so as you can kind of guess what it is. It's an apparatus for testing electric unicycles, similar to EUC service, what he did, but this one's a little bit different. The idea is to be very different than EUC service. EUC service uses it for torque and finding out how much force you can apply to the pedals in order to get it, you know, at a certain speed, at a certain weight, etc., etc. So this U-Paratus I built it with wood initially because wood is a lot cheaper to start off with, because, you know, I don't have to worry about tooling or anything like that, going to a shop, which was hell when I was trying to do it with the U-Rail. But I bought these things from Home Depot. It was actually part of something else, and I just took off the arm and I screwed it down on a piece of wood. As you can see, I was testing it earlier, and you can see all the rubber is on the floor because, you know, I had to create like a makeshift thing that acts like a human being. So as you can see, what I did was I added this thing on the top to simulate the weight, how a human stands. So this is the legs, these are the legs, and I didn't use the pedal, but I realized this was a mistake. I will end up using the pedal. Now, this is where, see the two screws? So these two screws will screw in here, okay? And then I'll put supports at the bottom, but I'll put the weights in here. I was using this cement. I was using these cement bags to simulate some weight. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. I didn't measure it. This was all like off the cuff. I just had to see how it worked. There was a video I had earlier of the first time I tested this. I created an apparatus to test this thing, and I went to the beach, and it just went shoot, and like it just like went, and I'm like, what the frick is wrong with this thing? It just keeps going, and it literally just left me at high speeds, like speeds I've never expected this thing to go. But that's because there was no weight. It was just the weight of the device with those things on the side keeping it balanced. So let's turn this thing on so I can show you guys real quick. Turn it on, boy. All right, see, look. Oh. Where's it going? Where are you going? Oh, shit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What the frick? I wanted it to be safe. So I want it to be inside the house. Once this is perfected, I could take it outside in the rain. I could take it outside, and not just taking it outside, I could put it in the snow. I could do all kinds of things. I have something in my car. It's called an actuator. And you can take the actuator with an Arduino, and it's a simple code. It's nothing crazy, but you can set presets to the Arduino so that it operates at certain inclines. So I can be sitting on my chair somewhere, and I can test this at certain inclines, you know what I mean? On this roller. I'm not sure if this roller is a good idea. It does do its job. It absolutely does its job, but it doesn't stop when I want it to stop. Because here's what the thing. Let me do a quick test right now. Okay, that's the speed, 4 miles an hour. See that? The tilt back. Holy smokes. Yes! That's what I'm talking about. So this is no load. This is zero load, by the way. Okay, I built the box, this box right here, for load. So this is where the actuator is gonna come in. The actuator is gonna go forward, backward, you know, at a certain incline, etc. So right now it's just on flat ground. This is just preliminary testing. So, all right, so now we're at 36% battery. Tilt back was like 11 miles an hour. Let me see. Tilt back, 11 miles an hour. Yeah, so the tilt back came on at 11 miles an hour. Tilt back came on at 11 miles an hour. Yeah. So, but what I realized is it wouldn't cut out. In motion, it just wouldn't cut out. It just kept spinning like crazy. And I'm sure the reason is because those rollers aren't doing the job that I want. While this is just a start, the hope is that we can get to a point where true testing of these units can be performed without the inevitable risks associated via human testing. In the meantime, Please share your comments and support me in this challenge by donating to $UStride on Cash App or any other way you can. Thanks again for watching, guys, and happy riding!